Hey there guys, this is my first pre-play, which I mentioned I would do in my channel introduction, of course. Alright, let's play number 1, The Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Ages. Now, this is one of my favorite games of all time. It's also one of my first games. Came out on the Game Boy Color, 10 years ago? I think it came out after Ocarina of Time. So, it was pretty long ago anyway. It was the Game Boy Color, so of course it was long ago. Anyway, continue on. Personal background with it. It was my first Zelda game. I played Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask before it, but I didn't own them myself, and I rarely even played them at a friend's house. So, there are actually two games, Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, that were released at the exact same time. They're counterparts. They play the exact same way, but they're completely different games. I prefer Oracle of Ages out of the two, just because, well, I like puzzles. Seasons is more focused on combat. Ages is more focused on puzzles, which I admire about it because I do like Zelda puzzles. Alright. Now, these two games have a password system. Now, this is probably going to be pretty long, and I haven't even practiced saying this, so I hope it goes under 10 minutes. So skip to the next slide in my video if you don't care about it. But here I go. Alright, when you beat one of the Oracle games, after the credits, you will get a password called a hero secret, which then you can then go to the other game in the series, and when you start a new game, you are offered the ability to play a password game. Now, if you enter the hero secret of the other game into Oracle of Ages or Seasons, you will start a password game, which is basically adding extra length onto the original quest. You can get extra items. You'll start with an extra heart container. There will be some extra side quests that will be forced upon you throughout the game, and it's overall longer and offers the true ending to the two games. Now, hold on a sec, I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. Just had to check something. Alright, so, where was I? Right. So, when you start the new game, you'll automatically have the wooden sword, and you'll have an extra heart container. And as you progress through the game, you will meet people who will tell you secrets, which are basically passwords. 5 symbols long, if I recall correctly. And what you do is you take that password over to the other beaten game, and you tell it to the person that you were told to tell it to. And you will likely do some kind of mini game. You might just get the item right off the bat, but anyway, at the end of it, you will get some sort of item that you wouldn't be able to get normally throughout the game. And let's give an example of it. For example, you can get 1 sword level higher than the normal games. So, once you get the item in the other game, you can use the password. They'll give you a password after you get the item, which you can bring back to the other game, your password game, and you can tell it to a certain person in the game, and you will get that item as well. So you do this throughout the game, getting awesome items and everything. And that's about the entirety of the password quests. There will be, in between certain dungeons, there will be side quests, you'll meet an extra character throughout the game. Both ones, yeah, both. And yeah, so you'll just meet some extra people and do some side quests, mini games, etc. Now, the ending is also different. You'll see when we get there, but the ending is the entire game goes up through the normal final boss, and then it does the true ending, and you fight a couple more bosses, and that's how you get the true ending. Both of the endings in the games are the same, as far as I know. Yeah. Except you get different credits for each one. Anyway, that's the description of the password system. I hope I didn't bore you with that, because I mean it's actually rather simple once you get once you actually know how to do it, but it was complicated at first. Anyway, moving on. The restrictions I'll be putting on myself during this Let's Play. Excuse me. I'll be getting the rings. See, alright, I didn't explain that properly. You can get rings throughout a game that give you certain powers. And once you start a password game, you can transfer over the rings from your original game to your new password game. Some of them are really powerful that I'll be getting from seasons, but I won't be using them until much later on in ages. So I'll probably be using the less useful ones though. Yes, I will get all the passwords. Some of them are useless. Yeah, I'll point out those ones. Some of them are actually pretty helpful, but you probably won't see me using them a whole lot because I don't like a lot of them, but I'll get all of them. And it depends. If I want to show you the footage of doing the mini games and such in seasons, I'll have to actually complete seasons for myself, which I'm still less than halfway through it for the second time, so it may actually take me a few days to get the first part of Ages up. But I can also use pre-used passwords and not show you the footage. So I'll continue on in seasons, and if I get some feedback from people, I'll make a decision based on that. So, more restrictions. This time about the technical things of an emulator. I'll be using save states throughout the run, but not as frequently as I usually do. I'll use save states before a mini boss, before a boss, before a really tough room. And the only times that I'll actually reload a state will count as a death. In my book, I'll keep track of those. So, unless it's certain circumstances, like if I'm aiming for a mini game of luck or something like that, I'll just reload a state. So, yeah, the turbo button. There's also a turbo button which is really effective in getting through the game. But I'll only use it to get through areas that you've seen before. I'll only use it sparingly if we're in the area for the first time. So I'll do that. Make sure you get the full enjoyment out of the game. Unless you guys actually want me to use the turbo button more. In any case, there's a warp system, so it shouldn't be that bad. Alright. So, just enjoy it. I hope you like the Zelda series. Even if you don't, give it a try. It's a really fun game to play. It's a really fun game to watch. It's just really fun all around. And I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching.